Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures Podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures Podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures Podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures Podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures Podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between. Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventures Podcast. Rideshare infotainment for the new driver, old driver, and everyone in between.
Welcome to the GR Rideshare Adventure Podcast. As you see on the screen, I am in the producer booth tonight as Ben is taking the night off. GR Rideshare Podcast is an infotainment podcast website, whatever. I'm trying to explain to new listeners because I need to do the introduction of that. We hail from the best city in the state of Michigan, Grand Rapids, Beer City, USA. So what we talk about is tips and entertainment. That's why Ben came up with the infotainment. So, yeah, you got me tonight, producer. We have Jesper to your left and Chris to your right. Chris, you could slide your seat forward a little bit and then maybe move your mic back. I can barely see you. I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. You should have figured that out.
Yeah, I should have. You know what? It's Operation I Blame Ben.
Excellent.
So, yeah, Ben's got the night off, and Nick couldn't make it, so Chris stepped in, and Jesper, and, again, I'm in the producer booth. I even, here, hold on. Yeah. What's up? Producer Jason. See? All right. So, what is going on? We had stories from the past 2 weeks. We had St. Patty's Day weekend, so
is it patties or patties?
Patty, what? You said the same word twice.
Patties or patties?
Oh, well, whoever wrote it in here, which is Nick, wrote Pattys. So it's not patties, like
It's
Like
a
the
big,
patty wagon.
It's a big ongoing discussion as to whether it's patties or patties.
where's the big online discussion?
I don't know.
Patrick ends with a
St. Patrick's Day.
St.
has
Patrick's
a
Day.
T in it, not a D.
So Jesper, did you have any crazy stories or pukers or anything like that?
So I did have one. It wasn't in my car, but it was in the car in front of me. I was picking up a group of 6 people. This was probably at around noon. No, it couldn't have been because I don't know, a little bit later, but it was still light.
Wait, explain to everybody when you say your story's at noon. Why are you driving during the day?
Well, so there was St. Patrick's Day, and over here is Iris on Ionia in Grand Rapids, and there's about 4 blocks. Ionia is a very busy like bar street, and there's about 4 blocks that they completely block off and have about 10,000 people going. Just daytime drinking all day long from 7 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. at night.
There's a stage and a band and everything.
Do you think there's other cities that do that too? Like,
They probably do something like that, but I don't know if they have this
Maybe
this
Rush
level.
Street in Chicago.
Something.
Rush Street? Is that like a famous? Well, I know Michigan Street in Chicago. but-
Rush Street is a big bar street in Chicago.
So
Okay.
maybe we can kind of ask that out and see if anybody else is doing that. So anyways, so it was, I forget what time it was, but I was picking up a group of 6 at Van Andel, and they were pretty drunk. But they're kind of getting in and getting situated in the car, and all of a sudden the car in front of me, it's a white car. It almost looked like yours, Chris, a little bit. But the front window, she rolls down the window and she pokes her head out. And she's kind of laying there a little bit on the side of the window, and all of a sudden she goes poltergeist right out the window. And it was like big stream and everything. It was just nasty.
Yeah, when he described it, it was just like I just look at it like this.
Color and everything was right. I mean, it was just. And
Was it green?
Oh yeah. I mean, she's been drinking green beer for like all day long, right? So there's no reason why it wouldn't be green. But it was just...
Hey Chris, can you put that mic right up? Put it up a little. No, move the hand. There you go. Right up to the mouth there. If it falls out, there you go. Nick says you're quiet, so
Pull a little bit back. It's falling out. So, anyways, there we go.
Good.
because if you tip it too low, it'll fall on your crotch.
Well, I was watching a guy earlier on YouTube, and he actually put the mic here in the chest because
Really?
you actually hear better.
Well, he had a lavalier mic, right? Just a little tiny one.
No, it was a big old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. it's like
That's
one of those
weird.
things.
No, this is like a directional.
Actually, louder with Crowder. He put it right next.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, all
A
right.
little shout out for.
Oh, Samantha says she's trying to eat, so no more poltergeists. I mean, come on, Samantha.
Sorry, Samantha, but you know, it was. I'm just happy it wasn't inside my car. So
Yeah. I mean, I just can picture that coming out. Like, and thank God it wasn't in your car. So
I actually think I have it on cam. I'm gonna try and get it out.
see, a good
from the camera and get it out there.
member of GR Rideshare would have the clip ready for me tonight, so we
What?
can show the poltergeist, and then we maybe can see if Samantha will barf.
I had one going down the highway. The car in front of me, a kid was puking out the window, so it was spraying back on my car.
Oh, dude.
It hit three times. The guy puked out the window.
Oh my
And
god!
I had riders in the back seat. I was like, oh man, I need a car wash.
That's so gross.
It was bad. And I'm like, why is this cloud coming? There's a kid in the back seat just puking out the window. And then I drove past him, and the driver was a girl, and she was like, oh.
That's so gross.
It was gross.
I mean, what do you do if you're on the highway though? Like, do you just say F it and just keep on chugging, or?
I'll pull in. I mean, pull into the side.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
No,
I
I
mean,
know.
once it lets it fly, can you imagine the poltergeist girl in your car? You'd be like, all right, just finish, whatever.
But you have bags, right?
Well, yeah,
I
we
had
do.
bags, yes.
But
Yeah.
Still.
But it didn't have it in my car. It was outside.
No, yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty. So, but that was the worst. Other than that, I just had a really good St. Patrick's Day weekend. It was probably one of my best weekends in a very long time.
That's good.
I mean, I was a solid $35 an hour.
You were shooting for 4, but hit 5, right?
Yeah.
Over 5. Yeah,
Yeah, you had a good.
I
Yeah.
was past 5. Yeah.
Just real quick, we got Dan Johnson on Facebook. Welcome, Dan. I'm not sure where you're from. And then there was someone else that I saw there that I didn't recognize. Angela Grace. She wrote. I read that one hashtag as Michigan Gangsta Tax. What? Did I miss a hashtag somewhere? Oh, in our post. Okay, sorry.
Michigan.
Gas tax. She read it as
gas
Michigan
tax,
Gangsta
yeah.
Tax.
That's about it.
So, what about you, Chris? Did you have anything?
So
Crazy?
Yeah, I picked up a few people downtown, but a few drunks. But my funniest thing on Saturday was I picked up a dog.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this because I never would have done that.
Wow.
I'm just saying, like, you went into someone's house to get a dog or the garage.
Well, they opened the garage, and then the dog was in the house door. So I opened up the door, and then but I had the car pointed at the garage. The cameras are on. Everything was. My biggest thing was like, I didn't want the dog to run away because I didn't, so
Right.
they're gonna open the garage, and is the dog gonna run out of the garage, or what's gonna happen, right? And but before I had even left, so I got the ping, and I'm about to get. I was actually at my house, and it was a 17-minute away drive, which I was like really debating to take or not.
Right.
But it was in Zealand. I thought, well, maybe they're going to Grand Rapids, and you kind of go through all this in your head. And,
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I'll take it. So I took it, and like within 2 minutes, I get a cough, and they're like, "Are you okay with dogs?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And so then she says, "Well, he's in the garage." And I'm like, "Okay, and you're gonna have to get him and put him in your car." I'm like, "Okay." She goes, "Well, you don't sound very comfortable with this." I'm like,
Well, I'm a Uber driver, not a dog transporter, but keep talking.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm like, okay, whatever. And so I drove to the house, which was in Zealand, and got in front of the garage door, and I called them up. I say, "Look, I'm in front of the garage door." So they remotely opened up the garage door,
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool. So the garage door is going up, and they're like, "Okay, just open the door, and the dog will be right there." So I didn't know what size it was going to be, right? Ended up being a brown lab, he was older, pretty mellow.
Yeah.
And I grabbed him by the collar, and I actually put towels in my back seat because I got him in the trunk, and I threw him on the back seat, put the dog in the car, and ended up driving him to Comstock Park, which is over 30 miles from Zealand, and just had the dog in the car all the way over there. So ended up being a $38 ride for me, and she gave me a $20 tip when I got there.
I think 20 is not enough, by the way. just personally. If you're happy with it, then that's okay, I guess.
It's just, $60.
It was probably the best ride I had all night.
On St. Patty's weekend?
Yeah,
That's
it was almost $50.
So here's the question though, and I always play the flip side. That's just Megan hates it because I always like play the devil's advocate. What would happen if you got in a car accident and that dog got smushed?
Good point.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Would you worry that they would sue you? I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's like having a rider that somebody else requests you to pick up.
That, you know what? That's a really good point because we do that all the time, don't we?
Well,
and I had one actually I had one Monday night. Well, that's the video I sent you. And I got to the house and nobody's coming out. Well, then a dude calls me up on the phone. He's like, "Well, is she there yet?" And I'm like, "No."
I know. That's so weird. I've had that with hookers a few times.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And it happens more often. So then I don't know what the legality is from Lyft or Uber, because you have but is it any different than having 4 people in the car and one person that has it on the app? You know what I mean?
I think that's, yeah, I think because the rider is in the car, the order of the ride is in the car.
Yeah, but if you have an accident and one of the other people get hurt.
Stop hitting my table.
So who's responsible?
Well, I think if the rider's in the car that ordered it, I think everyone's covered just like normal.
Yeah,
I think.
So then I would think the dog would be
I'm
covered.
sure it would. I would just feel.
Because, all these issues about, there's issues these days with, people and dogs.
I think the dog would be ordered, but it's the whole thing about what would happen if something happens. But if you look at it from the other perspective, Jason, have you ever had a dog in your car where it was a
never
service dog?
Oh no, I have. Yeah, but the rider that ordered it, it's in there.
I know, but why is there a difference?
I don't know. I'm just playing the flip side.
No,
I'm full of shit. So I'm just.
And I'm just asking the question.
Right.
So
yeah, it is. It makes a good point. Samantha brought that she would love to transport dogs full time. I know you. I don't know if you want to give that out right now because you may be looking into doing that. But
yeah, you can. You can make a lot of money.
You can make a lot of money.
And if you do it right, you can. There's some good money out there for moving animals around the country.
Amy, whose mic is off? Somebody said somebody's mic's off.
Not mine.
I don't know.
I can hear everything. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. But don't put it on. Don't say it if you want to keep it a secret. But
there is services out there doing that
for sure. They travel the country.
Yeah. I mean, I picked up a gal that she was running dogs across country, so I picked her up at the airport. She had just dropped off a dog. She was going to pick up another dog, bring it to Washington, D.C., I think. And then from Washington, D.C., she was going to fly a dog from there to, like, Los Angeles or something.
Yeah.
And this was her job.
That was her,
no,
you got her side gig.
Right, but you have to pay, like, your flight back out of pocket. And
she had everybody paying her flights for her. And she was like bonded on doing the dogs type of thing.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be in major insurance.
Right.
Yeah. So my biggest thing is like, you can find cheap flights and that. So if you can get $1,000 for moving a dog cross country, like there was one I sent to not Justin. I think it was Justin. The other day, and it was pick up a dog in Lansing. Well, there was a flight from Detroit to Seattle on Spirit Air for you could have done it round trip for $300.
Yeah.
So you could have,
right.
You could have got $1,200 and done it, and you would have made $700 or more for the weekend.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, what's the difference in sitting in a car for 10 hours? And
I'd flirt with it.
I'd
flirt with it to see if it's doable.
Yeah.
But you're gone. I mean.
Yeah,
you're gone at night and everything. No, I mean, not that it's just different.
Well, you're gone at night in the car too, bro.
That's what I'm thinking. I was just thinking that. He's looking at me like you're gone. I'm like,
and it's safer to travel in the air than it is in the car. Except don't fly the Max Boeing 767 since they've all been pulled off. All right, moving on. So I didn't have any terrible stories, but I had the oddest pickup. So I get an XL request at the mall, and typically when I get them at the mall, Rivertown, during the day, I will send a text. If you have children, they have to have a car seat because typically it's one of those, So I pull up, And it's not kids. It's 2 college girls each holding a half of a mannequin. No doubt. And thankfully they ordered an XL, so I was really appreciative of that. And they're like, will you take this? I'm like, where are you going? Grand Valley? I'm like, sure I will. So I folded the backs down, and it was bizarre. And the weirdest thing, and I did not say it, but someone had lipstick on and kissed it was a naked mannequin, had kissed the downstairs of the woman. I'm like, oh, this is weird. So they giggled the whole time. I was like, are you guys high? Like in my head, I'm like, are you guys high?
Oh, man.
So, but that was that's the bizarrest thing I've ever picked up is I should have I wanted to take a picture with them, but I thought they might be creeped out by it. But I wanted to have them hold the mannequin head in between them and then take a selfie, but I didn't. I'm a little too old for that, to do that with college girls.
I was caught out in Grand Valley for about an hour and a half earlier that night. So I caught a ride out there pretty early.
Right.
And then I ended up being out there for about an hour. But I did back-to-back XLs. And
I had that lift bonus a couple weeks ago. And if I gave, 25 rides, I made an extra 30 bucks or whatever. And so, I'm like, well, how can I do this as quick as possible? And there's so many Lyft riders out at Grand Valley. I thought, what if I hang out here, do the short little runs back and forth, and at least build up my, the amount, because I don't know where else you get them out in Grand Rapids. I mean, you might hang out at Division and Hall Street. You might get a lot of them over there, but it's Grand Valley. I'm thinking, a lot of Lyft people running across campus, basically.
One, the other thing, I mean, the XL filter works great in Grand Valley because they don't want to wait.
No.
So just go out there, put the XL filter on. And I made $60 in an hour.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my phone somehow to stand up without.
Could you stop banging?
I'm sorry. I know. Listen, it's going to be sketch tonight. We're running skeleton crew here.
You need one of those holders like in your car.
Well, I went to go look. I have my kid's got a little dinosaur that you can prop it looks like a dinosaur. But anyways, Nick wanted me to mention Heather is from Montana, and she is a new subscriber to us or watching. And
Hey, Heather.
Okay, super dumb alert here. Montana. Like, what's the big city in Montana?
I don't know. Don't talk about me.
Hey,
graphics.
you.
I'm
Just
from Denmark.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
you've been
from-
here for 20 years, and
I
Chris,
don't know.
you went to private school like me, so we're out. Great. Anyone chime in? Big city in Montana.
It's like at the tip of my tongue.
No, it's not even there for me.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the
It's
biggest.
like when you hear it, you'll be like, oh, yeah.
I want to say Bismarck, but that's North Dakota.
Right.
Anyone?
I'm asking Google.
Oh, you're gonna cheat. I was waiting for
Just gonna
some.
pull up a map.
Yeah, but anyways, she's from Montana, and Missoula. Oh my Lord in heaven,
Yeah, Missoula.
Missoula, Montana. Never heard of it.
Top
Oh,
10 favorite names,
There's all the
Heather.
Billings.
Oh, screw Larry. He just said bring back producer Ben.
Larry, it's hey, Ben took the night off, and
Yes.
it was well
Well deserved.
Yep. So.
Bozeman, Montana. I have heard of.
see?
Man, we got a bunch of new people in here.
Hey,
Oh,
welcome
Billings,
back.
Billings.
Yeah,
Okay, so now I
Billings.
get
Yeah,
it.
I told you Billings.
Okay, where does you said Billings?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not
Google
listening.
told me Billings.
Where Heather? Where do you drive? Which of those cities?
Well, I think she's from Missoula and Billings. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
How
So-
close are they?
So, anyways, I don't know. So we're moving on quickly because we got to keep it
Yeah,
going.
sorry. I'm
so, go ahead. What?
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna post a link to our newsletter,
Yes.
which is a fairly new thing. So we're having we're just done it for a couple of months, and this particular newsletter here is highlighting our.
I know it's tough. I feel bad. That's why I wanted you to bring a laptop, Chris, because he's reading comments on the Facebook Live. So
You're right.
have you checked YouTube at all? Because I have.
I'm
I
doing
have.
both.
I have 4 screens up. I cannot do
Can you
YouTube.
split that screen?
I can't. I could, but that would probably crash everything.
So anyway, talking about the newsletter again here.
Actually, I
and-
probably could.
Yeah, you just
Oh my gosh,
Hold on.
do a
this is gonna be a great night, guys.
Hold on. Time out. I gotta make sure I turn the volume off.
So
Go,
I had-
Jesper. See,
I had-
when it's dead air, that's when I needed you
Well,
to step
I,
in.
I'm doing it, but you. Anyway, so Miss Heather, you say you're from Missoula, and it's a college town of 80,000 students. So, being a college town,
No.
how much of your riders is college students, and how much is not college students?
I can't do it, Chris. I forgot.
Can you?
No. I need the. I can't do it
What?
because I need the volume off this computer. So
All right.
Okay, so I posted the link to our newsletter. This is our second episode. Please sign up for the newsletter so you guys can get them. It's gonna be it's a monthly newsletter, and we're always talking about the things that is going on. And
well, why would somebody want to subscribe to the newsletter? Can you give me bullet points on that? Like, what's the advantage?
Well, so you're gonna get the big advantage is once a month you'll get all the content that we are posting here. You get links to the live streams, links to the podcast, and then you'll get one story that's not posted anywhere else. And this time we're talking about right now we're talking about super fan Larry. So stop doing that. So anyways, go sign up, read the newsletter. And then there's links to sign up as well. And so
I got an idea. We should. Do you know what like an Easter egg is? Like if someone, I know what you legitimately know what an Easter egg is. But in the podcasting world, I guess they'll put an Easter egg where they don't talk about something special. We should put like an Easter egg in the newsletter somewhere.
We can do that.
Like if you find it, you win a pen from us or something.
A pen. Maybe a hat.
Hey, those are expensive. I mean, I mean, come on.
And then you got to ship it.
Yeah,
Pen's
exactly.
way cheaper to ship.
Right. So,
Anyways, yes, we'll give you.
so who wants to?
Amy wants a good story with hot guys.
Okay, well, I think we need a driver for next month. So who wants to be the highlighted for April? Any of our new drivers?
Well,
I think Heather from Missoula.
Heather from Missoula.
I don't know. Would be cool. I've never had somebody from Montana. Hey, guys, just real quick, too. This is completely random. If you're watching this live stream, can you go download our podcast, too? Because even if you don't listen to it on the audio version, if you just download it and it goes to your podcast app or whatever, I don't even care if you don't listen to that part of it. That helps our download number. So I thought I'd throw that in there.
And then back on the newsletter, the highlight only talks a little bit about the full story about Larry. You can read the whole story on our website. So
Yeah, Chris, bring it up on your phone. Then you can watch it that way. Just turn the volume off. Next up, I just want to talk about our voice guy. The intro that you heard, his name is Adam Grant. He did that free of charge for us, so we want to give him a plug, adamgrantvoice.com. If you have a podcast or a YouTube channel or anything audio related, I'm not saying he's going to do it for free, but he did offer it to us from free. We found him on Reddit, actually. So he's great.
That's good work. Yep, definitely.
Next up is our Zazzle store. No one has bought one damn thing in that. I wish you would. Can I do like a BOGO for somebody? There's always 20% off. You can get our rideshare gear at zazzle.com/grrideshare. Jesper's posting the link. So,
Yep.
And I have to work on these rewards, but I really, really think that you would love the patron account. So the patron account gets you certain level of perks. And one of the perks is you get like 10 minutes before the podcast and 10 minutes after posted just for the patrons. So we use a lot of swear words. There may be some phallic talk from Jesper and Nick.
That is not true.
So basically you get that. It doesn't happen every week, but I've been trying to post it. Larry is our only tier 2 subscriber. He's our super fan. We love him. So he can tell you that some of the stuff that said is definitely not safe for work. So you get that along with the podcast early and et cetera. So,
okay. So we do have to address this real quick because Michael Anthony Ortiz came on Facebook and saying Uber is a joke now. And I'm assuming he's saying that because he's referring to
#penny search.
#penny search.
Where's Anthony from?
And I don't know.
Gotta ask that first.
I got to tell you, Anthony, I don't think it's a big difference in Grand Rapids. And honestly, everybody's talking about you had all these big searches. And I know we're just talking about the same and the same and the same. And it's like what is it called? You're kicking a dead horse or whatever. But it's just not true.
Danish English.
Whatever. So
Kicking the can.
For me, I'm making more than I was before. So because I have more of the small rides, it's just changing how you drive. I do not think that is any. I think I'm making more of the same as I was before.
Anthony, Samantha, dick jokes. Yeah, Larry, most definitely not safe for work. So I usually put that in the title. Michael, the new minimum wage paying job. I mean, if you really want to get super technical, yeah, Jesper made $35 an hour. You got to take your gas out of there, and you got to take wear and tear. But is it minimum wage? No, you're making more than minimum wage.
If you're smart about it.
If you're smart about it.
And that was St. Patrick's Day, and you're not gonna make that all the time. And again, then don't drive. I mean, and it's not meant negatively.
No, it's not to be mean.
It's your choice.
What'd you do for Beer Fest? How much did you make that?
Oh, I made more.
Right.
I mean, I made more than same average, so I didn't make more. But
So
because I drove less, but
as
I
a caveat with
very
Jesper,
well.
as a caveat with Jesper is he runs XL only,
Right.
So he doesn't even take Uber X, so that does help. But he's not running Lyft either, so this is just on Uber. He's making that. So
Right. Uber only, and I honestly I drive a lot, and I don't know if other markets can do this, but I drive a lot XL only. I drive with my XL filter on, particularly in Grand Valley, because out there people they don't want to wait.
Right.
So it's
Nice.
about knowing how to drive and drive smart.
all right, let's finish these ads. The last one is Octopus. What is Octopus? That's the weirdest name. That's not weird, but well, kind of. Octopus. It sounds dirty. Doesn't octopus sound dirty? Like you're saying a dirty word, or like yeah. So Jesper's posting that. This is not in Grand Rapids. I'll give you that right now. But let's get them here. It's a tablet system, and I'm testing it right now in my car, and it's amazing. You can earn about up to $100 per month, which isn't a ton, but hey, it's better than nothing. And they have trivia and advertisements on there and stuff like that. So check it out. Let's see. You get a free tablet and a free data plan and auto updates. You don't pay for anything. They send it to you. Drivers get cash rewards as passengers play games. And there's a referral bonus, $25 each for each person that signs up in a live market. So plus they do giveaways. They're doing an NCAA giveaway right now with a $500 bonus prize. So yeah, check it out. If you have any questions, let me know. And yeah. All right. Before we get to rideshare in the news, and I know this is more of a Michigan-based topic, but let's talk a little bit about the gas tax that's being introduced by Governor Whitmer, like moon. Okay. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Like, obviously we're all pissed, but I mean, again, it's not going up for. Yeah, I saw you did sign up for that, Peter. It's not going up immediately. Right. It's going to be tiered, but I just.
How much tax are they getting already?
Well, that's the thing, and what are they spending it on? See, that's maybe that's an open forum that we can find out where they're spending it. I don't know, but it seems like they're not spending it locally here.
Right.
Amy has some pretty high thoughts about Governor Whitmer.
Well, we're not going to get into politics tonight.
No,
this is not
Amy,
a politics talk.
No.
Oh my gosh, that last line that Amy said, that's so funny. My wife and I say that all the time.
Anyways, so we're not going to say that out loud. But
Yeah.
Amy, it is good for you to have good opinions about people. So, anyways, the gas tax. So what do we think about that?
I think. Can you look that up? Like what the division is or what percentage?
Well, Dave says 40% goes to the general fund. And again, this is just people just talking about it.
The big thing that we don't really know yet, right, is how much is it actually going to increase the
Well, she even said with the increase, it still is only brings our roads up to like 70% good. Like there's different levels of good, great, bad, ugly.
Right.
And even with the increase, it's only bringing it up to like the 70% level. Or like 70% of the roads are good or something like that, or 90%.
Right now is the time of year, right? Because like Saturday, we're all talking about where the potholes were.
That one, were you the one that talked about that one in Fulton?
Oh,
that right by Grand Valley's downtown campus.
Oh yeah,
right
by the railroad tracks.
I was doing Laugh Fest that night, and I saw that sucker. I remember you said that, and it was huge.
It's huge.
I passed it twice. It would have eaten my tire.
Yeah,
I got a flat. It was a 28th Street pothole near Clyde Park, and I was
recently.
2 weeks ago.
Okay,
I was heading west on Friday night, going home, and I hit that thing, and I hit it hard, and I knew it, and I'm like, oh, and I got the indicator in my car, and I'm like, watching.
Did it go off?
It did, and when it went off before, I ignored it.
Right,
and it chewed my tire. So I'm like, okay, I made it I was like rolled past a Discount Tire there on 28th near Byron Center.
Yeah.
And so I pulled into the Speedway and I checked the tire and I'm like, oh, crap. You know, so I drove back to the Discount Tire and I left my car there overnight, got an Uber ride home, went back in the morning by 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Because I have an odd sized tire. It's 19 inches. And
On that Passat?
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, it cannot be 19.
It is. It's a 19-inch tire.
Jeez, that's bigger than my SUV tires.
And it's a it's a sport tire, and nobody has that size. So thankfully, the guy was able to get one within the hour.
Oh, that's nice.
So I just went over to Rusta's and had breakfast, and then they called me up and I got on the road by
Back on the road.
yeah by 9:30 I was out driving.
Real quick, Amy says you can spend billions on the roads, but after a winter, they will still be crap unless you use something else to make the roads. And that's always been the big discussion.
Right.
They are using inferior products that don't last as long.
Right.
But maybe, and again, I'm taking the other side, maybe they use the cheaper ones because of the frost freeze. If they're using expensive ones, maybe it still breaks it up. I don't know the science behind it. But bottom line, it's going to cost us more to fill up, which, I mean, when we're rideshare drivers, fuel is our biggest expense. Well, I mean, maybe, but I don't know. It's all bullshit.
We're just gonna have. I mean, so now we're back to the discussion: is if we use more the higher octane, are we gonna get better mileage out and all that stuff? I don't know.
Well, the thing too is like, are they going to direct it to the roads? Or are they going to utilize it elsewhere? Or where's it going to go?
That's the bottom line. If there was more transparency, and again, I've never looked. Maybe there is. Maybe it's freedom of information, and we can see exactly where everything goes. But of course, who has the
Well,
time
then you
to
get
look?
like the strike and Cottonwood still not done out there in Genesee.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
and-
that should have been done last fall.
Right.
Right.
All right.
Well, and then I was just seeing on Facebook, and actually earlier tonight, somebody was posting a receipt from gas he bought in Florida, and he was paying $5.99 a gallon.
What?
Yes,
Where's this?
in Florida.
No.
Why?
He was. I don't know why. He
Like,
was, but
like just now? Like,
today.
No.
oh,
Florida's about the same as us. When I go down there, it's always pretty much the same as us.
I'm just saying it was. It was a friend
Hey,
of mine. That was what he was.
it's
paying.
all-
California is bad.
it all is just hearsay. So
Right.
I know I said a bad. You can get away with shit, Amy. Just don't. You can't say the F word.
So, anyways, all we have to know, and again, it's gonna change for all of us, right? So
Yeah.
it just is what it is. Get used to it and drive smarter.
I mean, it's still cheaper than it was. What was that when it was like $5 a gallon or $4.50 a gallon?
Right.
Was that like the recession in 08 or was it a couple years after that or something like
Well,
that?
and then let's not even go what it costs in Denmark right now, right?
Oh, whatever.
That's
Go-
a by the liter, though, right?
Well, but it doesn't matter. It comes out to about $9 a gallon.
It's not our fault.
yeah.
No,
It's your socialist country. Okay, moving
it's
on.
not my country, by the way, right? Because if it was, would I
No
be
wonder you
driving for
escaped.
Uber?
Moving on. He is not even a citizen here. So,
Hey, now.
all right, we're gonna jump in rideshare in the news.
I thought we didn't talk politics.
Yeah, nice green card. Talk
you go.
hashtag immigrants. Oh man, I am just getting some deep trouble. Okay, next up, first article. This is a Lyft heavy rideshare news night. So this lady, it's in Michigan. Police are investigating an alleged theft after a local woman reported she forgot her cell phone in a Lyft vehicle. The woman, you're going to post that link, right, Jesper?
Yes.
So a woman told the police she received a ride home from the rideshare service Lyft around 8:50 on March 5th. After she arrived home, she knows she left her phone, shocker, in the Lyft and called. Who does that, Like, I've been drunk, like really drunk, and I never forget my phone.
I've had one or two.
I've had
I had-
probably 6 or 7.
I had one. Well, I've had
I think
many
they
times.
set it on the seat and then they get out.
Yeah.
And then they
I-
forget they set it on the seat.
2 weekends ago, I had somebody forgot. One person forget 2 phones in my car.
Hashtag put it down your pants. I
Right.
mean, you won't forget it that way.
Right.
I'm just saying. But anyways,
But-
so after she arrived home, she knows she left her phone in the car, and she called the driver using the friend's phone. The driver said she would hook up with her later that night. The woman waited several minutes and opened her Find My Phone app and saw the driver continued driving clients to Westland. Police say the driver gave herself a 5-star rating and tipped herself $5
That
on the
one.
Lyft app and then turned the phone off and was never returned. So that's funny. I think it's hilarious that she did that, and I think it's nice that she only did $5. I mean, she's gonna get kicked off the platform, but
Would you do that though?
No, I would
No,
not. Of course
I mean,
not.
Nobody does that.
I'm not a douche canoe, but I think it is still kind of funny that she did, and it was only 5. Like
Well, why did she even think she would get away with it?
I don't know. And then she didn't return the phone. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. Who knows? It could be a bunch of crap.
I had somebody Monday night that, so I picked them up and then dropped them off, and then I was quite a ways away, and I got a text from Lyft, you know, hey, did you find a bag? Is there a bag in the car? Or they're trying to call me, and you know, so I pulled over and I looked in the trunk, I looked in the back, I didn't see anything, and I told them, but it's like my word against theirs. I was kind of thinking about it, and it's like, well, how do you prove that, that you didn't take whatever they left?
Right.
You know,
it's tough. I mean, just the bottom line is, if you find something, it's not yours. Why are you taking it? Jesper teased me the other day because I put my Megan's old iPhone up on Facebook Marketplace. He's like, hey, did you get that from a rider? I'm like, no, I did not get that for a rider. So, hey, guys, real quick, we have some breaking news. So I'm going to play our little sounder. Oh, shit. Wrong mouse.
Again.
On. I don't think anyone could hear me because I didn't have the mics on the other video. That was an epic fail. Okay, guys, breaking news. If you didn't hear that, the East Lansing Chipotle stopped validating parking just for delivery drivers, but they still validate for in-store customers. That's from Vaughn Thompson. So I need to add the mics to that video. So, all right.
Larry said it was very loud, so I'm sure they could.
The video was very loud. Oh, geez.
And Chris was like, wow, volume.
Sorry. I should probably turn it down. If Jesper would frickin' talk, I could probably do some work on behind the scenes, but
I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can.
all right. So just to let you know, the Chipotle, they're not validating parking. So I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. Hopefully the next one won't be so loud. Uber driver gets ticketed by undercover police officer. So the backstory of this is, I didn't really read where it was. I think it was LA, but they were trying to catch people taking cash rides, so they would pull up. Was it LA? They would pull up and they would say, hey, I don't have my phone, but do you have a ride, or can you give me a ride? And so that's what this video is about. And hang on 1 second here, and I'll get it going. So hang on, I got too many remotes going on. Hopefully this one doesn't blow you out, guys.
And these two people are the two individuals that entrapped me right here, and they're trying to do it right now. They're trying to get every other Uber driver. They're trying to get every other Uber driver and Lyft driver right now. It'd be dope if I could catch one. Look at them, waving people down. The woman said that she didn't have a phone, or no, she said that her phone was, out of battery, and the guy said he had a flip phone. Said he had cash. They're trying to catch all kinds of people. Watch this. Hey brother, those people are undercover cops. I just got a citation for this. Yeah, they trapped me. Yep. Good job, guys. I'll see y'all in court. Oh, I thought your phone was dead. Oh, your phone ain't dead no more, huh? Your phone ain't dead no more? Yeah, I didn't take nothing from you. I took nothing from you. I took nothing from neither one of you people, and you know I didn't. You know I didn't take nothing from you. Oh, I'm not harassing nothing. No, I'm not harassing anything. Y'all entrapped me. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Oh, now look at this. Look at this. What you mean, how am I doing? I just got trapped, and I just wanted to stop somebody else from getting trapped. That's all.
So how can I help you today? You know, by doing this, you're interfering with an investigation.
I'm
right?
not interfering with no investigation.
Yeah. So
no,
whenever
I'm
a
not.
car pulls up,
I'm not
you
interfering
could
with
be
anything.
arrested
I
for
was
that.
making a video, and they just happened to have some people pull up.
Okay, so you know you could be arrested for.
Just happened to have some people pull up.
Okay, so you know you could be arrested for.
So yeah, what I don't quite understand is in certain markets it must be illegal to do that, and
To do cash rides.
I'm pretty sure it's probably not illegal here, but it's probably some insurance fraud.
Well, so there's two things about that whole thing. So I don't know that it's insurance fraud, but here's the thing: if you are taking a cash ride, you are no longer on Uber's or Lyft's insurance.
Correct.
So that also means that if you have a rider, that doesn't mean anything because you're still not on the platform. The rider is only good if you're on the platform. So the only
Do you know that for a fact?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
Yeah, the riders are meant specifically for rideshare driving. So if you're not on the app, you're not rideshare driving. That's per definition the truth. So at that time, only if you have commercial insurance are you good.
Yeah, and I think most insurance policies are personal if you use it for hire, which
yeah.
we are, but we're only allowed to do it on the rideshare platforms if
Yep.
you're doing it like a taxi or whatever.
Correct.
Can they be your new friend and they're paying you gas money?
I
to
mean,
get
of course, absolutely.
But
I mean,
don't you think they can see through that though? I mean, it's being used so much. I don't think it's gonna fly in court. I'm sorry.
That's pretty gray.
It's very gray.
It's very gray.
And we've all done the cash ride, so it's not any secret.
Oh, no.
I mean, we've all given a friend a ride. But anyways,
Yeah.
do we got anything on YouTube? I have heard 0 comments from YouTube.
We have a couple. We have somebody saying the big FU is what he's calling himself, and
The big FU?
Yep.
Okay.
So he's talking about the gas tax and so forth. But
Yeah, double check that YouTube too if you can. I
Yep.
know if it's not super active.
I'm watching it.
So next, thank you. If you ever see anyone have a question, don't feel free to yell at me.
Yep.
So the next one is a Lyft driver told a gay man he'll burn in hell and refused to let him out of the car until they prayed. So I'll just, synopsis the article. A Lyft driver in Washington has been fired after telling a gay passenger he'll burn in hell and refusing to let the man out until they prayed. No, I do not want notifications from lbgtqnation.com. Greg Alexander had attended a private dinner at a museum? To celebrate the launch of the museum's new...
It's the museum.
The museum? Never heard of it. The museum's new Rise Up exhibit celebrating the 50th anniversary, blah, blah, blah. At the event, he called the Lyft to take him home. The driver asked him what exhibits he's seen. Alexander described the event. That's when the ride went south. Gay rights? What is that? Is this a new... What? Gay rights? What is that? Is this a new movement? The driver asked. There's no need for gay rights. Oh, this guy's a piece of...
oh.
Greg, can I ask you something? The driver continued as they pulled up to Alexander's home. Has anyone told you that God loves you? The driver started to chant Bible verses next, according to Alexander, saying, please, God, grant Greg salvation. He's accept Jesus Christ as a Savior. I mean...
It's just... Believer or not believer, it's just the wrong way of doing it.
Well, this is a preview to our tip earlier. It's kind of one of those things where those are the kind of things that you don't... I mean, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about abortion, you don't talk about religion or anything like that. And I mean, Ben has a story, and he told it on Threads. That's another podcast, threadspodcast.com. That's another one.
Nice push there.
Yeah. Let me finish. He talked about a guy who came up to him, and this wasn't rideshare driving, and I don't know what setting it was in. I think it was in a sales setting, but said, grabbed his hand and just started praying for him. Didn't ask, can I pray for you? Just started grabbing his hands. So, and that's just weird.
Roger.
It's just kind of one of those things where this guy kind of did the same thing.
Right.
But later on, he said, you'll burn in hell. God loves everyone, but he hates your sin.
You switched.
What's up?
You went from Ben to back to this. You have to.
Right.
I went from Ben.
You were talking about Ben and his.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm done with the story.
But
I mean, come on, try to keep up.
Obviously, you don't create a situation where you don't let drivers out. It's
Right.
Right. No.
I don't understand what his point was, but Lucas says you can't even talk about sports anymore. Yeah, depending on what college that you are into. So
I'm careful with that one, especially around here. You know, last weekend we had Michigan State. And
yeah.
It's like, you know, carefully you're asking, what side are you on?
Yeah. Yeah, I just tell people, and this is true. I used to be in sports a lot, but I've just kind of grown out of it. I'm just like, yeah, I don't really follow sports. What game? I mean, I knew what game was going on, but I just play stupid, you know.
Because you're smart.
I don't follow sports.
But I had literally knew what game was going on. I just say, oh, what game?
Yeah.
And they're like, State and Michigan in basketball, man. I mean, come on.
Are you stupid?
Right. Okay, I did it. Let's see. This next one. Uber driver gets into a strange accident in Indiana. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this one. This is my article, and I forgot about it. Uber driver ramps up trailer, crashes into toolbox while workers on site. I mean, seriously? It says, an interesting Friday is how Wayne Township Fire Department described where an Uber driver inadvertently drove up onto a flatbed semi-trailer with crews who were in the middle of hoisting a 3,200-gallon fuel tank out of a sinkhole. Now, mind you, I have driven and seen ramps down, and I have thought in my head, I wonder if I could, wouldn't that be awesome to Dukes of Hazzard that thing? For all you millennials out there who don't know who Dukes of Hazzard is. But, sorry, I had to do it. But have you ever done that where you saw like a car carrier where their ramps are really low? I'm like, man, if they drop that down, I wonder if I could launch. That sounds like what he tried to do. So, as crews are working into the evening, they lift the tank from the sinkhole. This is the crane, the flatbed, semi-trailer, I don't know. 6-hour affair to get the tank out of the sinkhole.
It's probably heavy.
Well, it's 3,200 gallons, or 3,200-gallon fuel tank. But I wonder if it was full of fuel. I don't know. It really just talks about the fuel tank. It doesn't say what the driver really did. I mean, other than idiot. All right, that's a Tailor article. You can tell me about it.
So
Next, hey guys, I have some breaking news, but I'm not going to play the video because I have not been able to edit it. Breaking news, heads up, Chipotle no longer gives validation at Bailey lot to drivers. Customers, yes, updated at 7:02 p.m. Talked to Clara, an acting GM. She's going to email me with a policy. She said it's not true about no validation for drivers, but she's going to check and email me. We'll update. That was at 7:02 p.m.
Look on the YouTube one.
1 day ago. So back to regular news. Okay, this one's disgusting. Lift pack spits on driver. Well, it technically wasn't a lift packs, but you'll find out. Let me get to that video a minute here for you guys. Yeah, it's interesting. So
Mountain View every day and get nails in my tires every other week. Flat tires, trannies going out. Like, I can't live my life like this. I'm always at the auto shop, and I'm always late to work, and I'm always having to, like, I'm missing a whole half day for this fucking bullshit right now. I'm so fucking pissed off. I am so fucking pissed off. I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah,
I'd rather
not safe
be a
for work.
stripper.
Oops.
Honestly. I fucking hate my life. I think you got in the wrong car. Can you please take me? I'm having an awful morning. This is just gonna like...
Please don't make me repeat myself. I cannot drive you.
Fucking disgust, bitch.
Oh.
Fucking drive all the way out to Mountain View every day and get him.
So yeah, that was pretty disgusting. Basically, she stole the ride and then spit on her when she got out. So
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, ugh, so gross. But the driver did the right thing. She pulled over and said,
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, you got to get out.
But it goes back to always check before you start the ride.
Yep, confirm the address. I've been getting a little lazy with that, and not on purpose. So Lyft, it flips to the nav. So I have it set up on automatic, and maybe I should take that off. But it flips so quick, I can't even read the address before it's already navigating on my tablet. So with Uber, for whatever reason, I have to. No, I don't. I can't remember if it automatic. I haven't done a lot of Uber rides lately, but you should confirm the address.
Always.
Although if you said, yeah, but if you said, are you at 123 Main Street, and she said yes, then she just lied. So.
Yeah, but where are you going?
Oh,
Confirm
yeah.
where you're going.
That's true. You're right.
You know, I mean, I had one just last weekend, and it was one of those situations where the person who ordered the ride the rider was actually the sister of the person who ordered the ride.
Okay.
And he ended up calling me because I couldn't find the passenger, and so. The brother called me and said, "Hey, she's right up there," and so okay, so I ended up finding her. And in this situation, he confirmed where the ride was going and all those things. So it was fine, but just always confirm
Yeah.
where you're going.
Do you do that or not, or do you just hit go?
No, I try to as much as possible.
Do you?
Yeah, I've been doing it more lately than I did before.
Okay.
Just because I don't want a problem.
Yeah, I had somebody. I picked her up at 20 Monroe. I think it was Tuesday night. She got out, or she walked up, checked my plate, and then asked who I was. And I'm like, "Thank you for checking my plate. You're probably one out of 100 rides that actually look at the plate." She's like, "I do every time." I'm like, "You should, man, because there's creepers out there."
Well, for some reason on Uber, my car was listed both twice. And it had a color of light blue and a color of white.
I remember that.
And
they had a time where they was all going weird. I actually
so finally somebody, they're like, "Oh, we're looking for a light blue car, and yours is white. Do you know that?" And I'm like, "Something's up," And then finally somebody said, "Well, your car's, it says light blue on it." So I got in the app, and then for some reason I have two things for my car. Then I switched it to the other one.
Did you get the other one deleted, or is it still on there?
It's still on there, I think.
go down to the hub.
Yep.
But yeah, I was last time I had to renew my license. I ended up having to get a new license plate, and I was kind of worried about how long it was going to take Uber to switch to the new ride. But it took very, very quickly. So I was happy with Uber for that one.
Yeah, everyone's kind of chiming in with their different tips. Dave says, "I ask what their name is. I don't tell the name I'm looking for. Ask what their name is." But I get people like, "Will you tell me your name?" So then it's like,
right.
I used to get fussy about it, but I just tell them my name.
And mine has my full name.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
well, I think there's
call me
multiple
Chris.
levels of security. Like it's the name, it's the plate, it's the address and stuff. So
I actually got a new Uber light in my car.
too bright.
Well, I like it now.
I got to figure out how to dim that. I'm going to put some black tape on the back or something because it's way too bright.
Yeah, I got used to it. I think it's fine. But it has my name on it, and I really like that. And I have had more than once a night people really they pay attention to it, they see it, and I get lots of good comments.
Right, it's more comfortable for them, but you don't. It's less security for you to know if they're stealing it, right? And we've gone over this time and time again. It's comfortable for them. They feel more comfortable with you. Like, oh yeah, that's the guy we have. Like that's our guy, But yet, you know what I mean?
True.
We go round and round in that, but just try to do it all, and you should be all right. It doesn't happen. I haven't had someone steal a ride in a long time.
No, me neither.
So
I don't think I ever have.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I had somebody tried once, and it was down. It was pretty bad actually, or could have been bad. Nothing ended up happening, but it was at the woods, and what?
He's just looking at his phone. What's going on? Why'd you stop your story?
Sorry. So I was at the woods.
Squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel. Sorry. We were at the woods trying to find the people. The people who got in my car said that that was who they were. And what ended up happening was they all kind of pretty quickly into I find out that it was not who they were, because they got in the car and then they wanted to change where they were going. And they said, well, just change it on the app. It's like, no, you need to change it. Well, the phone got stolen. Yeah, no, it did not.
Jesper, that is a great tip. He is a professional because you always make them change it on the app,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Always, because then you'll find out in a real big hurry if they're the right person or not. So good job.
And you're picking up at the woods anyway, so.
Right, so.
Yeah, I only had it one time. It was at Duke's. They got in. I thought it was them. I started driving. I got a phone call just like that Lyft driver did. And I'm like, yeah, you're driving away. You don't have the right people. So I literally went around the block. I had trouble getting them out. They were so drunk. Like, now, that was the old me. The new me never would have picked him up in the first place because this dude was, like, falling on the ground. And I was like,
Yeah.
Now I would be like, bye.
Yeah.
The problem was I already had him in my car. They
No.
just kind of got in. And I'm not going. And they got pretty good. They got pretty aggressive, actually.
Did they?
Yeah. But nothing ended up happening, luckily. And, they got out, and I picked up the ride.
You know, one thing we didn't do with Chris, with the new people on, we always ask what your ratings are and how many rides you had.
Oh, yeah.
I totally flaked on that. Do you know offhand? I mean, you can ballpark it. You don't have
Like
to.
4.94 or something like that.
Oh, wow. Damn, that's better than me. Shit. Okay. Well, while Chris is looking that up,
So there's a comment from YouTube. He's asking if you're drinking too much coffee, you can't sit still. Well,
who, Chris?
Yeah.
Because he keeps looking at his phone and he bends down like he's tying his shoe.
Well, I'm nearsighted, so I should actually take my glasses off because then I can see better.
Okay.
But then I can't see Jason. Or
I know.
can't see the
Well, that's
board,
why
so
Well, some people just don't sit still, and it's fine.
Well, here's the thing. That's why I said bring your laptop. Jesper is getting better at it, but he'll just like stop. He just did it. He stopped mid-story to read something. He can't multitask at the same time.
Right. I'm
So,
not good at that.
No, he's not. But
So-
we love him. Heather is 4.97. Holy cow, Heather! How many rides?
4.94. Christopher is 4.94 and 1,900 rides.
Nice. And then Lyft's probably what? Probably the same rating.
I gotta open it.
I would share my Lyft rating too, but Lyft
Wow.
and I are currently
You're currently fighting. Okay,
yeah, we are
I'm gonna
fighting.
post this picture.
Good job, Heather. Good job.
I don't have it for you guys. Sorry about that. You can see it on the live stream, but so basically, you got it.
5.0 on.
Well, they round that up. If you're looking at your profile, mine says 5.02. If you're a 4.91 or higher, it's going to round it up to 5.
So last weekend, my Uber rating just went up again. I'm now 4.93.
I'm
pretty
impressed
happy.
because
I'm
you
pretty
were
happy.
in the 70s, weren't you?
No.
Oh.
My lowest were 4.87.
Okay. So the picture on the screen is today.
Good night, Amy.
There was a not Amy. There was a join gig workers rising, and actually it's probably going on right now. No, 11 to 3 p.m. Our demands: a living wage, transparency on wages and tips, fair breakdowns and deactivations, benefits like workers' comp, healthcare, unemployment, voice at work.
But
here we go again. Like, guys, it's a 1099 job. If you want those things, go get a non-1099. Why are you forcing the company to become a regular employer? Like, I don't understand it. I mean, obviously, if it was 1099 and they were punching us in the face while we drove down the road, okay, it's a little different. But even then, I'd be like, okay, I guess this isn't the job for me because I'm getting punched in the face while I drive down the road.
Right.
I mean, I like not having a boss. I don't want to have a regular employer. I don't want to pay regular taxes. Like, I don't want any of that. And I think we're all on the same page on that, aren't we?
And you have the freedom. You can turn the app
Depends
on
on
when
the
you want
boss.
to or not.
What's that?
Depends on the boss.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, I have a good boss at my other job, but I don't want, for this, I love just being like, oh, the week I did Laugh Fest, I didn't drive one thing, and no one cares.
Right.
I mean, my checkbook cares,
Right.
but I
Your
mean,
wife cares.
my wife cares, but I mean,
But
like,
you know what you have to do to go make it up if you have to.
exactly.
Make it up.
But I don't have someone saying, you need to get to work.
Right.
Because if you want benefits and you want unemployment and you want health care, somebody's going to make sure your ass is in that seat driving around.
Yeah, so I went from owning my own company for 24 years, sold it to a company that I ended up working for, and it was awful.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like stressfully awful.
Was it?
And had to be there at 7 in the morning, you know, and I'm not a morning person. And,
Yeah.
And ended up, you know, they let me go after after 2 years and said they're going to discontinue their relationship with me, is the way they put it. And
Right.
ended up, I was off for about 10 months, and now I'm at a new company, and it's been great. So
Just in the last 10 months?
no. I've been at the new company for 3.5 years.
Oh, that's the meat distributor?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that, I'm like, 10 months? Did that just happen?
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
no,
you had
no.
been there for
No,
a
I was
while.
off 10 months before I got into the meat distributor company.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, if you want to talk about that a little more, I just don't want a boss. I mean, it's just.
I mean, I love my day job, and I love the ability that I have to have my day job and still go drive whenever I want to. I mean, I call it my therapy.
You do.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
No, I call it my paid entertainment. So
What
Yeah.
exactly? I love talking to people, but I also love the. It's so different from my day job,
right.
that this is just, it's a way for me to decompress.
You don't
I'm
have to
out-
think about it. I mean, you drive and you think about that, but it's not like you're.
Right.
It's a
It-
different.
It's very different.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's a fun. I mean,
it's fun.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
Samantha puts, I don't want to be locked into times. I'm like, that's it. I mean, that's when we do flex. That's actually the only thing I'm locked into on my gig income, because it's just like,
You gotta do
okay,
it between
you
a
got to do it
certain time.
between a certain time. You got to be there, which is fine, but it's like 3-hour block or 4-hour block.
Right.
But
you know when it is.
yeah,
right?
you know when it is, and you can choose not to take it. You can
Right.
actually forfeit it up to 45 minutes before and not be penalized. So
Oh.
there is a lot of flexibility. I honestly don't want another boss. But it's
Right.
interesting you guys all say, like, it's fun. I think a lot of people do that because it is fun.
Right.
You
I mean,
like
look at
meeting-
this. Look at the stories we've got. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you would never. I mean, people always want to hear your stories.
Right.
You know, oh, tell me your great story. You know.
What?
and
Hey,
it's like-
about that. What is your best story?
Oh, I hate when people ask me. I just hand them a business card that says
no.
GR Ride.
I had one bad night.
Like, you have a best story you tell people?
Oh yeah.
What is
absolutely.
it?
So my best story, and we'll come back to yours then in a
Okay.
second. Sorry,
Sure.
Chris. But my best story is when I was Ubering Ubering in my Mazda. I used to Uber in my. I have a little Mazda 3 hatchback, and one night the Knicks was in town playing the drive, and I had 3 Knicks players in my Mazda.
Not the Knicks, but
It was the U.S. Knicks, but not their main team. but
right.
the-
Yeah. I just want to
Farm
clarify.
team.
But so I had 3 7'3" players in my car. And they-
Your little Mazda.
In a
in my
Mazda.
little tiny Mazda, and it was fun, and they were great guys. They were super good sports about it, but that's a positive story. I love it, and it's great. They tipped me well, and it was What about you, Chris? What was your best story?
So I had a night where I picked up a drunk attorney who was celebrating winning a case of getting a guy off of 13 counts of criminal sexual conduct. And he wanted to go through the McDonald's, and he sat in the front seat, and I just had this car. I mean, my Passat's 3 months old, and they get a couple burgers with Cokes, and the Cokes are in the thing. There's 3 Cokes in the container, and he gets one out, and he's passing the thing
Oh,
to the back,
no.
and he's like flipping it upside down. And I'm like, no. So I'm like, I want to get this guy out of my car.
Okay.
Right? So I go drop him off, and then my next pickup is over in East Town, and 2 guys are at my side windows, and they're, putting cash to me. And they're like, just take him home. And they put a guy in my back seat, and I'm driving on the road, and he's like, I want to get out of the car. I'm like, no, dude, don't get out. Just stay in the car. I want to get out. I want to go back. I'm like, okay. So I take his mind off of getting out of the car and fiddling with things. So I start asking him, hey, did you meet any girls at the bar? Did you get any phone numbers? Oh, yeah, no. I know. So I'm trying not to stop and just keep rolling. So I'm timing the lights and everything.
Right.
Well, I'm going down Fulton past the Masonic Lodge,
Mm-hmm.
and the light turns. I'm like, oh, crap, So I start slowing down, trying to time it. Poof, out the door he goes while I'm moving.
Whoa.
And he goes up, and so I'm like, crap, So I flip the car around. I go up in the street, which is between the Masonic Lodge and the Methodist church there. And he had gone up the handicap ramp, and he's trying to get in the church.
Mm.
And so his buddies had put him on their app. So I'm like trying to get a hold of buddies. So I'm looking at, I hear this thwop. And I look over, and the dude had gone over the railing and dropped about 12 foot, and he's laying there on the sidewalk.
Oh my gosh!
And he's not moving. And I didn't see how he landed. I didn't see anything. So I'm like, crap, So I call 911 up, and they're like, well, what is your emergency? I'm like, well, and I'm an Uber driver, and a guy jumped out of my car, and he fell about 12 foot, and I don't know how he landed, and they're like, well, so it's a medical emergency. I'm like, well, you could call it that.
He might be dead. I mean, if that's considered medical.
Right. So, they're like, okay. So they, where are you? And I'm telling them where I'm at. And they like, okay, we'll send an ambulance. So I'm waiting. I hear a few sirens, and I'm thinking, hell, anytime. Well, the guy gets up, and he starts going up the street. I'm like, no, dude, stay here. Yeah. Well, then he starts going into Fulton, which is busier, right? Yep. So I kind of grab him. I do a little wrist lock on him, and I set him on the steps of the church. Boof, there he goes, lays backwards, and he's laying in front of the doors of the church. And some chick is walking up the street. She sees him, she sees me, and she's like, is he all right? I'm like, no, he's not. And 15 minutes before the ambulance finally arrives. So finally the ambulance comes, they get out, they get a stretcher out. They go get the guy. They put him on the stretcher. He's like, they strap him in. He's like, ooh, this is nice. So they're like, you want to go to St. Mary's? He's like, no.
Yeah, he needs to go there. He needs Jesus.
He's like, you want to go to a Spectrum? No, he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, ride's over. This one's costing you $5,000.
Oh man.
So yeah, that was my story for that night. But
yeah, I've never really had a medical emergency. I know a lot of the guys in our local group have had issues where they're just so drunk.
Who was it that had that chick that was on the way out to?
That was Justin.
Justin, right?
And then
she was bad.
Yeah, she was bad. They came and took her away. And then Ben had that guy to Fenville. It wasn't a medical, but the cops were called because I don't know what was the deal with that one. It's so long ago, but do you remember that?
Well, that was the one where he a bouncer at
oh, that's right, had thrown him out of the bob.
Yeah, it was pretty. We had that one time where there was a bouncer at the bob. He was just using way too much force.
Right.
And several of our people saw it, and it happened to several people.
Yeah, I never heard much after that. I wonder if they got rid of that guy.
I think they did.
I mean, you got to use your strength, but you can't be.
Somebody called and told, and so I think he's gone now, but I'm not sure what happened. But what happened in this case, and Ben saw it. He threw him down, and he landed pretty bad on the cement and hit his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's secondary injury. And
what honestly Ben should have done is not taken him. Ben should have had called the ambulance to take him, but they took him, and I think Ben called the sheriff because he was like trying to get into people's door. I don't know, but anyways, it was a cluster F. Let's move on. Yeah. A couple more articles.
Well, real fast before we go into that.
Absolutely.
There's a couple of comments on YouTube. The big FU is saying, obviously, and you're right, it's like psychologically very important to have a job satisfaction. It'll kill your soul if you don't have a job that makes you miserable, and it's true.
It is.
Yeah.
You gotta love what you're doing, and I can say that I love both my jobs. I love my day job, and I love driving for Uber.
In anybody's defense, though, and I have driven full time this first quarter, it is a little bit of a grind. I mean, it's it's still fun, but it does definitely make me want to do Amazon or deliver some food just to kind of change it up a little bit.
And I wouldn't want to do it full time. It's not for me full time.
So he may be,
you spend 10, 12 hours in the car.
Right.
You're like, I'm sick of this.
I tried to do about 8 at the max. Even if I didn't quite hit the number I wanted, I'm like, I'm like 8-hour day. I'm like, I'm good.
Sometimes I get out of the car and I'm like, man, I can't. I'm so stiff. And
yeah, that's true. You should. I mean, you're old too, and you should. We all should be getting out at least once an hour.
I mean, they talk about like flights, right? You should get and walk around on the plane if you're sitting for too long.
So that's another good tip, right? I mean, drive for 2 hours and then go out and at least walk around.
2 hours is actually too long. I was going to say my chiropractor says you should be moving positions every 20 minutes. Obviously, that's not going to happen while we're driving.
Move in the car.
Right. I mean, yes, he has given tips on, doing some, not exercises, but just like propping yourself up like this, just for like 10 seconds every 20 minutes. At least you're off your butt and you're using some core muscles to.
I think the biggest thing is just like your legs are bent at a certain.
Right.
You just got to get up. And
basically, we're saying you get fat. So. All right, next article.
Talk for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. $150 McDonald's Uber Eats order in Grand Rapids. So they did a study. Someone in Grand Rapids really likes McDonald's delivery. The company released data Tuesday about the usage of their Uber Eats service called McDelivery. McDelivery? I never heard of that. 51 Grand Rapids area McDonald's participate in the delivery service. The company says the largest order placed in Grand Rapids was for $148, and the largest in state was $179.
I think I saw that on a McDonald's sign over on 28th by, was it?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. But it said
they
McDonald's
had drivers or whatever.
McDonald's giving away couch to delivery giving away a couch to a delivery customer. What? McDonald's is giving away a couch? Okay, you got me.
Because you're sitting on the couch.
I'm clicking here. I got to see what this is.
Clickbait.
A valid Twitter account, internet.
And yep.
That's
couch
so.
potato.
I guess, but
that's why they're giving you a couch.
I would have done it. I thought it was just like they were giving couch to, or like McDonald's to couch delivery, like giving the fee away or whatever it was. Lame. $148.
Well, how many people was that for?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of McNuggets for $148.
Well,
I mean, McDonald's is so cheap.
Weed is legal now in our state.
Yeah. Well, you can't buy it legally yet, but you can smoke it. So
I've made a few of them McDonald's deliveries.
all right, this one I don't. This is for kind of the Grand Rapids market, but Lyft is actually coming to Grand Rapids. It won't be on the live stream, but Jesper will share it. They're actually coming to talk to us Friday and Saturday. If you listen to this MP3, it's already too late, but if you're watching the live stream, they're going to be at Roots Brew Shop on 600 7th Street Northwest in GR. Friday 11 to 6, Saturday 11 to 3. So
I've never been there.
I know I have a couple of people that have been there. That Roots Brew Shop, it's like root beer.
Oh.
Jesper said it was near the Holiday Bar.
Yep, not too far from the Holiday Bar.
So
I'm thinking about going there. I have, as I said, I have a temporary disagreement with Lyft, and hopefully I can get that taken care of.
okay, I gotta say, Vaughn's on here. If you've heard Vaughn, where'd he go? He commented about something. Hey
He's
Vaughn,
there.
Uber Eats moving to a flat delivery pay scale. If you heard us teasing you, it's all tongue in cheek. We appreciate you giving us the updates.
Absolutely.
We're actually not in the East Lansing market, but we do post in there. But yeah, thank you for that. I didn't know there was validation issues at Chipotle, but we know now. So what is I don't understand what that moving to flat delivery pay scale. What does that mean? So I thought they were gonna do surging, or is he talking about the flat rate that we get now? The $3, $4, $5.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking
I heard,
about.
was Lyft going to go to that too, I thought?
Lyft is a little different. It's already in Detroit. They have like bonus zones where it's like if you pick up in this pink area, you get an extra 7. It's not like a flat rate though. I've seen it at like 22.33 or.
They started doing those new, what do you call them? Like during this time period, if you drive so many rides in.
Oh, the streak.
The streaks.
Yeah, they've done that before.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I've only seen it lately, but
yeah,
they hardly give me any bonuses.
Really?
Yeah, I get a bonus. I'm like,
I get the 93 if I do 93 rides a week.
Right. Well, and let me just talk a little bit more about the penny search. Not that I want to go back into it a lot, but I talked to sorry.
I'm just teasing, buddy.
I talked to Gabe about it too, and honestly, Gabe is a full-time driver here, and he drives a lot, and he says his income has not changed, it has not gone down, and so I don't see a big change in the penny search. It's not that big of a deal, guys. It's just not. And at least not
I just don't always know how how like we can try to figure it out. You know what I mean? It's like there's a surge in a certain spot, and supposedly if you drive through that spot, then it's attached to you.
Right. But
so then if you get a pickup somewhere else, then they're paying for a surge.
They're not paying for it. No.
So it's all like it's all balanced out with the different riders you have.
Right. I think the big
money you bring in for the day.
Right. One of the big thing that people are complaining about is the fact that it seems like we are getting a lot less of the fare now than we used to. And yeah, it's true, we are. But okay, it's their platform. They can do whatever they want with it.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting that you're saying you're not seeing it, and I don't know if you are because you're not an XL, but it's hard because it's actually the study would be better with Jesper because he doesn't have Lyft, so he can do just Uber,
Right.
and he's not seeing a huge. Now he is an XL only, but the XL that still applies. That surge still applies to XL, so he's still
sure.
yeah.
I mean, I see more rides where it is definitely where the driver is paying more than double of what I get. I see those rides, yes.
Yeah.
And so you can say that it's unfair and all those stuff, yes. But at the end of the day, I am still making the same that I was before. I'm driving differently. I'm taking many more of the little rides. Where
Right.
before I used to be out by the airport. I was hoping for the longer rides
Right,
and all
right,
that
right.
stuff.
So you've changed your strategy, which is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
Right.
I had a guy. So on my flat tire deal, I had a guy pick me up, and he lived in Spring Lake,
Right.
and so he had just only been on for like 3 weeks
Right.
as a driver, and he was only on Uber, and so I was kind of sharing him some information and
Sure.
in that, and telling him, don't pick up too far away or too long away and that kind of stuff, and that was all
Good night,
new
Warren.
information to him,
Right.
and and then I said, hey, do you do Lyft? And he didn't. I said, well, I'll send you a connection. You can sign up, and he hasn't yet. But, I mean, he'd started, but I could get my $500.
It's not 500 anymore.
It was for me for that
because
particular
I
one.
just referred somebody. It was only 200.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So-
the one after that was like 200. Anyway, so
So Vaughn is saying that the penny search is affecting what we used to call unicorns. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
It does affect that. But here's the thing. If you really go back at it, it had been so long since I had my last unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was way before
They were rarer.
included the penny search. I mean, if anything, I think the new search strategy is improving the search right, because let's go back and look at it. So there's two things to that, and now I want to touch on both. If you look at the search markets before, it really had been very poor.
Yeah, in the last year, at least in GR, it had been real
so
sketch.
Yeah.
what I found was that if it got over 2 times to 3,
Right.
when it got over 3, people just waited.
Exactly.
Yeah, they waited.
So there's a sweet spot between
Right.
like 1.7 to 2.5, right?
Right.
And if it got way over that, they just sat it out and waited until it went down.
Exactly, and the search was so brief.
Right.
And like the 2 o'clock search, it lasted like 15 minutes and was gone.
Right.
Right. But so here's the thing, and I think what people remember is they remember like a year and a half ago.
Right.
And yeah, it was good. We had some good rides there, but it wasn't like that anymore.
No.
Now, one guy brought up a very interesting perspective. The adrenaline rush of trying to drive for that search.
Right.
That's gone.
It's gone. Yeah. So that might change the way how much you drive.
Well, see, and they do their bonuses and their surges and their, we would call them fake surges. And that was all, they're basing their analytics on sometimes driver response.
Yeah.
And they would try to force drivers to do things by creating within the analytic.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. That adrenaline rush of like getting that XL 4.5 going to frickin'
So what's
gun
the
light.
highest you guys gotten so far? Like I
Ever?
saw 11.
the flat one?
Yeah.
$3.
Oh,
Because they had 10 or 11 was like the largest I saw a couple.
I've seen a few
couple
higher
weeks,
ones, but
and
I've
I'm
only
like-
gotten like a $3 one.
I think the highest I've gotten was on Beer Fest, and I think I got a 7.5. But then that I took them to GVSU, and I still ended up getting an additional. I think it was an additional $16 on top of that.
Tip?
No,
Oh.
because what happens is when you take a longer ride,
Right.
they still end up adding an additional
right
part
one.
to it because
I haven't figured that how they figured that.
I
Well-
think they're like feeling bad for us, so they're throwing.
no, what happened? What they say is you still have to get a significant part of the ride, so you end up getting more, and it's an adjustment afterwards.
Yeah, but it's like $7, $6,
Yeah,
$5.
but I still end up getting $44 of
Right.
a ride to Grand Valley. So
Hey, I tell you, I'm just riding Lyft, so I mean,
Right.
You quit Uber?
No, but I very rarely take it. I mean,
I guess I've been fine. And, I'm trying to evaluate this. Like, I've been last month or whatever. And do I make more? Because when I had that bonus streak, I made like $350 for the weekend that week because of the extra money. And I didn't, but I concentrated more on Lyft.
Yeah.
Because of that. And I didn't get, so I feel like, and I'm trying to.
Well, it's tough. Like I said, Jesper has the upper hand or the bottom hand, however you want to look at it. For a test, he's doing Uber only, and he's not seeing. He's just not going to the suburbs anymore.
Right.
He's doing downtown because you're getting $3-4 extra for a minimum fare ride. So, all right, let's jump ahead.
And
this
then,
is
droning. But and then finally, I've been able to keep my XL filter on too, and
that does help. But you did that before too.
Yeah, but it wasn't as beneficial before as it is now.
Interesting.
So,
all right. So this is interesting. Let me pull that up. So what we're talking about here is a Lyft bonus. So this guy posted it. He's actually in the Detroit group. Kind of runs the Detroit Facebook group. Actually just got out of the hospital, but there's a picture of there, and he made $1,100 in 10 rides, 7 hours and 8 minutes. So Lyft was true to their word. This guy had over 10,000 rides and got $1,000, like they said. Tonight, I didn't grab the picture, but in another national Facebook group, somebody got a $10,000 deposit today because she had more than 20,000 rides for Lyft.
Really?
So that was, if you had,
because of the IPO.
Because of the IPO.
Yeah.
That was their rewarding for, being a loyal driver.
Right.
And Lyft does that. I don't know if you guys.
I do feel like Lyft is more driver.
Yeah, I will tell you something. I don't know if I ever told this story in the podcast. I may have, but when Lyft came to Grand Rapids, I had signed up 6 months beforehand to try to get them here. When they came here, I was expecting them to do 25%. They said, they didn't tell anybody until you showed up at the meeting. They said, by the way, we're only going to take 20 from you because you signed up before today's meeting. You signed up 6 months before. I'm like, holy crap, you just knocked 5% off every single ride from here on out that I drive for Lyft. Like, what a great company. Yeah, they can be dirtbags too. I get it. But for the most part, Lyft is straight.
But I used to like Lyft better than Uber. And that was a long time. I don't know if you remember this or not, Jason, but when we started this whole thing, I was only driving Lyft. And it took quite a long discussion for you guys to
convince you to
get me back on Uber.
Right.
My Uber account had actually expired.
Yeah.
And I was inactive, and so I had to reactivate and all that stuff, and I did, and I ended up going back on Uber, which obviously I'm happy I did now.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and again, not that anybody cares, but I actually end up having a couple of speeding tickets, which is why I'm not on Lyft right now.
I think the regulars know that by now, but maybe for the new peeps.
So so be careful out there. Not these speeding tickets was not while on the platform, and it was.
And Lyft is stricter on their driving than Uber is.
Right.
On everything. I had a buddy that actually got on Uber but not Lyft because he had a felony for something way back, but Lyft was like,
and it's been 2 years now since my last ticket, so it's been a long time.
Drop off pretty quick, right?
Shannon.
Hopefully.
Shannon Gerber says, "Do we have Via by you?" I don't know what that is, so we must not.
No. It's another rideshare, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
By the way, guys, this popped in my head. I did try that Healthify. Somebody posted in our, can you pull our chat up now that we got some new people in there and share that link for our Telegram chat? Do you know how to do that or not?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll work on that. But someone had posted in that link that they wanted to try. It's basically like Maestro, where it does it for you. And I don't know if it's just the tablet I have is just slow, but I tried it. It was a free trial for 14 days, and I did it for 2 days, and it just struggled.
The Maestro? Yeah.
Well, the Maestro I dumped.
Yeah. It didn't. I mean, I'm like, this is no different than me flipping back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, I actually prefer having the two devices. It actually works better. I have a tablet for Lyft, but that's not what I wanted you to post.
Well, I'm gonna post the other one too, but it's in this story as well.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, do you know how to get it from Telegram?
well, yeah, I get it. No, not from. I'll get the link to Telegram the Telegram group.
Did you hear him like like I'm his kid? Him and I
What?
fight like dad and son.
Here's the one you wanted to post.
So, but anyways,
I was using it as a post to the blog as well. So just
can you shut up now?
no. You shut
So
up.
Maestro, I tried, and then I actually got a subscription for it, and then I forgot that it auto renewed. And they actually were legit. They actually gave me my money back. I emailed and said I didn't want it, and they gave me every bit of it back. So look at Chris, you freaking old man. That's why you should have brought a laptop.
Happens.
I know it sucks. My vision's 2020 right now, but
And yeah, Ronnie, it was somebody who reached 20,000 rides.
yeah, I can't. I don't know if I can find it real quick, but I'm trying to figure out which group it was in. I don't know. It'll take me forever to find it. But someone posted that they did get the I'm sure you'll see it around now that 10K one came out, but somebody posted that they got a 20K.
Yep.
Everyone's saying, "Oh, you photoshopped it," but it's true. Lyft stuck with their word and they paid them. So, all right, well, we got to move on here. We're like 90 minutes in. So,
What else?
where are we at? We got to
Tip time.
Oh, that tip time, yeah.
So basically, the thing about the tip time ride is when the passenger first get in the car, try to read the passenger in the first couple of seconds, and don't force them into a conversation. Talk if they want to talk, and don't if not. Put some music on or whatever if you feel that they don't feel like talking, and then lastly, stay to safe topics and stay away from politics, stay away from religion and that kind of stuff. I mean, I often have people ask me, do you like Donald Trump? And I just kind of shy away from it and say, I don't talk about politics in my car, because it's just a heated argument, and it's a dangerous discussion. So just, don't get into it. And of course, if you want to, I guess you can. But the tip is just stay away from them, because stick to safe topics.
Well, I think a lot of it is people don't understand if they've never waited tables. Like, you're kind of a service industry, even though they don't tip as much as they should. But you gotta flirt with that line. I mean, you can do what you want in your car. You're an independent contractor. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying if you want less arguments in your car or uncomfortableness, because that's work. It's the worst when you get an uncomfortable ride. Like, it's the absolute worst.
So speaking about uncomfortable ride, and I think Gabe would be okay with me talking about this real quick. He had a driver one time, not too long ago.
A rider?
A rider, sorry, not too long. And this rider had some cognitive impairments and got pretty aggressive pretty quickly. Now, Gabe is pretty well equipped to handle with this, because he has that in his family, and knows how to deal with this, and was able to diffuse the situation pretty quickly. And what he ended up doing afterwards, so in this case here, it was actually the rider's brother had ordered the ride, and so what he ended up doing was he ended up texting the passenger and kind of letting him know what he ended up calling the passenger, the person who
land the plane.
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're struggling with your story here.
I know. He ended up calling
on the Telegram. We can play it.
Yeah, I know. So he ended up. Thank you so much. So he ended up talking to the guy who ordered the ride, and he got the rider to where he needed to go, and all was good. And then he ended up texting Lyft afterwards and saying with the tip of what to do, and Lyft actually thanked him very much and all that stuff afterwards. Just on how to do it. And so if you have situations like that, and you're ordering a ride for somebody else, and that's the situation, just text us with the instructions, or call us with the instructions, and it's gonna make the ride a lot less just bad for us, I guess.
One thing I do want to bring up about Lyft too, their support is actually not canned like Uber. I mean, they do have some canned responses. Like if I ask them, hey, this person should have been an XL, they say, oh, sorry, you're supposed to tell them that at the beginning of the ride, and they won't compensate you for the ride. That's canned. But I mean, when what Jesper's talking about, when Gabe went through that, I'm sure it was a specific email from somebody that said, hey, this is what's going on. So, all right, jumping in questions from the Facebook group. Someone posted, why would you want to flood the market with more drivers? Someone, AAA Johnson, responded, unless you were one of the first thousands of Uber drivers, you also contributed to flooding the market. This is a side gig income to supplement my real income. Worrying about the market is above my level. I'm just here to get in, provide a bit of quality service to the customer, make a bit of income, and get out before it dries up. The market is like the weather. It's going to do what it wants. It's going to do what it does with or without me. Sorry about that.
Right.
Now that's fine for people that are part-time, but it is a little bit of a different situation if you're a full-time driver. It's not just a side gig.
No, it's not. But you also have the power and the ability to make it what you want with it. You know, as a full-time driver, I know lots of full-time drivers who make not a killing, but
it's a living.
But you make a living.
Yeah, you can pay your bills and put a little aside. I mean,
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're not living extravagantly, but so just something to think about when everyone's bitching about flooding the market.
Well, it's supply and demand, right?
Right. Well, hashtag don't. I mean, it's everyone has a line, right? So $200 bonus from Lyft, that's pretty nice. I think I might refer a friend. I don't go out actively pursuing it, but for Uber for $50, you can keep your $50, and maybe everyone has a line. So,
right. So, any other questions, guys?
What?
I was just asking.
No, we're going through our questions like we always do.
Well, yeah. I know that, but
Jesper's tired.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm good.
You're good now?
Yeah, I'm
You
good.
ready to stream for maybe 2 more hours?
I can do it.
I don't know why Nick put this one in here. 4 minors waiting at Harry's Corner liquor store for an Uber ride, wondering why the request wasn't for the chart. Oh, he's basically saying they requested from Harry's, but they were from the charter elementary. So, yeah, we're not going to get into the minor talk. We've talked to that to exhaustion. Don't pick them up. Next guy. So if 3 guys puke in your car, does the maximum cleaning fee change? So wait a minute. So does he think he gets 150 for each puker? I was having an amazing night. Started at 9 and planned on driving till 9 a.m. Hold on. Plans changed. Literally nothing about them said they were on the verge of puking. One went and the rest followed. The guys were apologizing to the first friend that puked, and they were sorry they made him drink so much, really. Holy cow. Yeah. I don't know if Jason had dash cam on that, but that would have been epic. Basically one puke and the other one's no. Yeah. By the way, the answer is no. You get a one-time fee. Doesn't matter how much puke is in there or not. So
if they puke, do you push them out? You're done?
Oh, you mean don't give them the rest of the ride?
Yeah.
I would end the ride. I would say, I mean, I'm not going to kick them out on the highway, but I would pull to a side street and say, you're going to have to order. I'm sorry, I have to go clean this. I mean, depending how close. If I'm, Jesper had that one at Grand Valley.
I've always finished the ride.
Really? Regardless?
Yeah.
Really? With the smell and everything.
What do you want?
I'd have to get that out.
Jesper's hardcore with puke. I don't know what it is. He's like, maybe I need a puker tonight. And then we always tease him and go, he's going to hit a curb again.
I think I met you, actually, Jason, the first time you had a puker.
Really?
Yeah. Did you pull into the Speedway and get it cleaned out? Like, this is the first time I had anybody puke in my car.
I don't think so. My first
Speedway in Michigan and college.
No, I don't remember. My first puker was actually a night where I got a 9.5 surge from Van Andel to Duncan Lake, which was amazing. It was like a $250 ride. But the ride before that was a bunch of teenagers from East Grand Rapids. That was my fuse. Like that night I had a puker and my highest surge I've ever gotten back-to-back rides. I was able to clean it up enough to get that next ride. But so I don't think it was me at Speedway in Fuller. I don't know where I cleaned that, but it could be. Who knows? I have a terrible memory. So,
but yeah, I've had, I don't know, 6, 7 times.
That's crazy.
And I know. I got 150 every time. So,
what was that?
Me knocking on wood.
There's not wood under there.
Plastic.
It's plastic. So, So, yeah, you only get one cleaning fee. I am absolutely terrified of getting a puker on Lyft because they're asking for that receipt.
Right.
I'm hoping there's something online that I can pull from that I can, because it can't be a handwritten receipt. It's got to be like computer generated or whatever, that they're not going to pay it. You will not get paid until you submit a receipt for cleaning. But if you clean it yourself, I mean, yeah, that's the new thing with Lyft with all this puke fraud. So if somebody has a hookup for a legitimate receipt,
Even if you got camera video?
that's a good question. Yeah, I would offer that. I would say I cleaned it up myself. Here's the link to the video.
Right. But then how much are you gonna get if you clean it yourself?
What difference does it make?
Well, it does to
I'm
them.
a professional cleaner.
No,
Yeah.
I know, but I mean,
Create a
Well, that's the thing.
QuickBooks, create a little
Well,
invoice and
Yeah, I
send
mean,
it
you
to 'em.
basically have to. I mean, I'm not condoning you fibbing it, but you should get that money regardless if you clean it or
Yeah.
somebody else not.
If you have-
Bodily fluids in your car, give me my money.
Right.
Like,
but the difference is though, and this is where it gets tricky, right? People were also using it as a loss of wage, if you will, because this is time you're off the road, you can't drive that, right? But the thing is, Lyft has always said, no, this is not Uber has always said, this is not a loss of wages. We are not going to pay for that. It doesn't matter how long you're off the road.
right. It's to clean the car up.
It's to clean the car.
Yeah, and Peter said that Lyft gave him a cleaning fee without a receipt, but said I may not get another one. That's such bull crap. Like, if you get a puker, that's why Chris brought up a good point, the dash cam. I would say, where do you want me to send the file? Because I will show you the vomit coming out of this
Right.
person.
Yep.
But, all right, couple more things. Lyft approve. Oh, this is what we're talking about. Lyft approved my cleaning damage request, but in their approval email, they asked to send a receipt to verify funds were used correctly. Has anyone done this before? Yeah. I mean, again, we just talked about it, so we'll just move on from that. I hope it doesn't happen. So Ben, he's not here tonight, but hopefully we'll have the video next time. To the Uber and Lyft driver in the blue Honda Civic that backed into my car last night in front of the tin can. There's no damage to my car, and you gave the line at tin can some entertainment. They even applauded when I declared no damage. So carry on.
I just posted a link to the dash cam. It's so important that you have a dash cam and a good one. So if you don't have one, this is a link to the Vantru camera. It records inside and outside, and it records high definition inside and outside, and has a night vision as well. Again, we talked about it just a moment ago, and it just. If you don't have a dash cam, get one. It is
Chris,
it's
a good one.
It's easily worth the $200, and sometimes goes on sale for $150.
Yeah,
just to protect yourself.
Yeah, I'm testing the black view right now, and I'll be honest with you guys, and they may hate me for this. I don't think the infrared is good at all inside the cab. I thought I had a bad one. They sent me another one. It's the same. It's not very lit up. Like Vantru lights that thing up. Now, mind you, they all look like they're got gray hair.
Right.
From the infrared, but
oh sure.
I mean, I guess I could add some infrared lighting in the back to make it a little better. But I mean, for the price of that camera, it should be light that thing up like a frickin' Christmas tree.
And wait, so you sold the Vantru already, right?
I sold it to Gabe. You know, I have a problem with selling stuff, mixers, cameras too soon. Yeah, I just realized our mixer's on the live stream right now in the corner over there. I didn't even take it down. I'm still working on the newer mixer, so hopefully it'll be better.
The link is not working.
The link isn't working.
Why isn't the link working?
I don't know. I feel like that's the wrong link. Where'd you pull it from?
No, it works for me.
Our website. Some phones, for some reason, if you're on Android, the links won't work in the live stream until it's over. Last thing, Tammy, I've seen her on a little bit on I think she might be a new driver. She has a dash cam, but not sure how to put in my car correctly. Does anyone have any ideas? I have a front and back cam. I mean, it's, the front is the front, the back is the back. I've heard of people buying just a one camera and just flipping it around as long as it has the infrared, using it as the inside. So, yeah, we recommend the Vantru. If you can't, like I said, if the link doesn't work, try it on a desktop, because I think something with Android and Facebook Live when it's on. But
okay.
Jesper, question for you: is there anything on YouTube that we need to clear up before we sign off for these from these
Nope.
fine people.
Nope.
I just want to thank everyone that chimed
Yep.
in
Thank
tonight.
you so
It was
much, guys.
really fun. Samantha, Peter, maybe next time. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say again. Remember to sign up for the newsletter.
Yes. The newsletter and Octopus. And I'm telling you, if you sign up for the Patreon account, you're going to hear some great stuff because I'm going to cuss Jesper out as soon as we kill the live stream. And then Jesper and I are going to get in a fist fight on the microphones. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. And Chris is like, yeah. And Chris is going to videotape. This just got real weird.
Oh, my God.
So,
Yeah, we'll post that on YouTube. Probably have way more hits.
yeah, so we appreciate everyone that's listening. Again, if you are watching this live stream, please download our podcast. I don't know if Jesper can throw that link in there. Otherwise, I can do it post-stream. But we would love for you to download the podcast. Even if you don't listen to it and you watch it on here, we're fine. But we'd just love to get more numbers on those downloads. So, all right, guys, I think we are done for the night. So I'm going to sign us off. Some awkward conversation, blah, blah.